Welcome to the Microsoft Office 2019 Word intro. Let's get started. I'm using Windows 10, so if you were using Mac OS, some of this will look a little bit different. So we're going to start by opening Microsoft Word. This is typically the page that you are going to see. You'll have a blank document here, a Welcome to Word document. Then you'll start having different templates pop up. You also have the option of more templates down here. You'll see any recent documents, pinned documents, shared documents. You also have the option for new document. I'm going to maximize my screen here. With these templates, you have a lot of options. But if that's not enough, if you look at the top, you have a search bar here. And you can search for any of them that you need, or you can be a little bit more specific with your searches and go specifically for business or flyers, letters, education, so on and so forth. Or you can go down here to open previous documents. There's also account, feedback, and options. Your account will show you more information about the product that you are using, any updates that are needed, and so on and so forth. If you look in the top right corner, you'll actually see a little design here. That's part of your Office background. You can change it and it updates as you highlight it there. So I like the circuit. You can also change your color scheme. Right now I've got mine at colorful. You can go dark gray, black, white. I'm going to leave mine colorful for now, but I typically prefer all my Office products on black. Feedback. Yes, you like something. No, you don't. So Microsoft can actually improve it. And you also have a suggestion. Microsoft does listen to the suggestions. And then you have a lot of different options to go over here. We won't be going over these currently, but in a future video, we will cover some of those. So we're going to start by opening a blank document here. We're going to start here on the top left of your ribbon in the File tab. You have Home, which takes you to your documents. You can, like when you first open Microsoft Word, you have New, Open, pretty much that's all straightforward. Info, you can protect documents, inspect documents. Check accessibility is a huge one. I've got a video that I'm covering in that a little bit later. Manage your document. You can see the size of it and your number of words, total editing time, and so on and so forth. Save is pretty straightforward. You can save it to this computer. You can add a OneDrive, and you can also browse for other locations. Printing, once you select your printer, everything else here is going to alter based on that printer's settings. So for example, printing single side or double side, that'll truly depend on your printer itself. Over here on the right where my mouse is circling, that's going to be a preview. Since we have nothing on this page, there is nothing to preview except for a blank document. Then there's the share option. You can share it as a Word document through email. You can share it as a PDF in email, upload it to your OneDrive. All right, so going back into File here, you can export this document. You can even change your file type to something other than PDF, which is what this first one's going to be, create a PDF. You can transform this document into a web page as well. Kind of a neat little thing to do. So here I have an open document that I've been playing around with. When I go into File and go into Close, that doesn't close Word. That closes a specific document that you are actually in. And so you can still open a new document, a previously open document, anything that you need. If you want to actually close Microsoft Word, what you'll have to do is go up to this X in the top right corner. It changes to red when you highlight it, and you just X that. But we actually need something to work on here. So when you're working in Word, you're going to start off in the Home tab up here, and you've got several options with each of these tabs in the ribbon. We're going to cover most of them in each ribbon. So starting in the Home tab, you have your paste options. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to copy something here. I'm going to highlight, right click, and copy. When you go to paste, you can keep your source formatting. You can merge formatting with the existing formatting in this document rather than the first one, which is keeping the the formatting from the original copy document. You can paste it as an image, or you can paste only the text, which means that you're not pasting any of the formatting whatsoever. You have your cut, copy, your format painter. So then next you have all of your fonts, your sizes. Right here next to it, you're going to have an A with an up arrow. That is going to increase your font size. So we're going to take this title here, and it's a font size of 18. If we click this, you see it goes up to 20, 22, 24. Well, the one to the right with the down arrow, that A will actually downsize the font. Now this one here, the case change is actually pretty cool. We're going to highlight this first paragraph so I can show you the case change here. We already have it at sentence case. And what that is that the first word in each sentence is going to have a capital letter. You can change everything to all lowercase. You can change everything to all uppercase. You can capitalize just the first letter in each word. You can toggle case, so that way anything that's capital is now lowercase, anything that's lowercase is now uppercase. And then go back to sentence case. Now we also have this A with an eraser, which clears all formatting. So I clicked that, and now everything went back to a default. Now that default is not Word's default, it's actually a default of one of these themes that I have set up here. But it just takes it back to default. So we're going to undo this. Another good test here that I'm going to show you is we're going to go down here, all using these buttons here. So before I show you again with the clear all formatting button, we've got the bold, italicize, underline, where you can change all your underline options. We have the strike through, we have a subscript and the superscript, so that way you can get numbers below and numbers above. You've got some text effects. We'll actually go ahead and add that to here. I'll show you a little bit about what that'll do. So it kind of changes it a little bit. We've got highlighting, and then we've got color change as well for the text font. So now we've played with these three lines here. We're going to go back and click this clear all formatting. Everything goes back to normal except one thing, and that is this highlighted word. When you clear all formatting goes back to default, but whatever is highlighted remains highlighted. So that is something that you should know. So this next section, which is going to be your paragraph section, you've got different bullet points and a drop down to change your bullet points. You've got another bullet point option here with numbers. This one here is an awesome button. It shows your it's called the multi-level list. What it does is it shows that whatever you have here, when you highlight, it'll show every level and what it's going to look like. So that way it helps you further pick a design that works best for you. So you've got these bullet points here that we're going to play with. So we access that just by this top one here. I just clicked on it and chose the default rather than selecting anything special here. But if we did want to select something special, click on these. So we could indent this by simply clicking the tab button, or we can decrease and indent with these two buttons here. So that's what your increase and decrease indents are for. So then this button here, your A to Z with a down arrow, is going to be sorting. This button marks your paragraphs. This one here is your these four are your alignments. This is align left, align center, align middle, and then your justify, which basically just evens out your text through all margins. It's not necessarily left or right. This one here changes your spacing in between your lines and paragraphs. So a lot of people like to use the 2.0 spacing just for the simple fact it makes it easier to read. I've got mine on 1.5. You can also change your spacing between paragraphs above and below. And then you can do different shading on your paragraphs and words. And you can do lines and boxes. And then you have different styles that you can play with. So as I hover over, it changes the bullets there. I use quick shortcuts Control Z for undo, Control Y for redo, Control C for copy, Control X for cut, and Control V for paste. So if you don't see me right click or use the clipboard buttons up here in the home tab, then that's what I'm doing, is keyboard shortcuts. Over here in editing, you can find and replace words, you can select things, you can even dictate. I'll show you how the find and replace works here. We're going to search for a word. We're going to do bullet. So what it's going to do is highlight every one of them. If you would rather replace, so we're going to find bullet. Now we're going to replace with test. What we're going to do, it's got bullet 5 highlighted. We can replace just that one, or we can replace all. So you see how it says we made one replacement, and do you want to continue and search from the beginning? We're going to say no, because I want to show you something here. Since we started our search at what was bullet 5 and now test 5, it's going to go down and it's going to end the search and then ask to start at the beginning, because that's why it missed these 4 here. So if we were to start at bullet 1 and we're going to go replace, and we're going to replace with capital test, we can replace that 1, or we can replace all. We just replaced all. So then we have an insert where we can insert cover pages, blank pages, page breaks. We can insert tables. Let me go down here. I'll show you what inserting a table looks like. So in here, you'll notice that we see this table tools added to the ribbon where there's a design and a layout. It lets you completely change the design of your table. So add some color, anything you need in there, shading, border styles. You can change all sorts of stuff under design. And then the layout, you can view grid lines or not. I think depending on what style or what design you pick, the grid lines are actually really helpful. So if I don't view grid lines, this one here, it's a little harder to see how many columns there are. So this helps, grid lines help you see that. You can check properties, you can select rows and columns and just cells or the whole table. You can draw and erase, you can delete rows, columns, and the whole table. You can even insert rows above, below, even columns. You can take, and we want these 2 cells right here merged, so we can merge those, so we can merge these 4. We can even go in here and go, oops, I didn't want to merge those, so we just put our cursor in there. And we can split, and we can decide how many columns and rows we want to split that into. We split it into 2 columns there, so we got 1 and 2. You can even do that with the smaller ones. We're going to split that one into 3, and now you see we have 3 tiny columns in there. You can auto fit your contents windows, fixed columns. You can manually change that and just redistribute the sizes, or you can manually change that. You can change all of your text alignment, cell margins. You can sort everything, repeat header rows, which is nice if you've got a table that spans multiple pages. You can even convert to text. So I'll show you here. We have these 3 rows that I've got highlighted right here, test, test 2, test 3. When we go to insert a table, the other option is you can draw a table or even convert text to table or use Excel spreadsheets and quick tables. See, we're going to do convert text to table. We're going to have number of columns. We actually want 3. Fixed column width is auto and all of this. And what we're going to do is we're going to select comma here. So we want this to be broken down by comma. So we select that. It gave us a header, and it has, or a header row, and it has all of these broken down. So like I had showed you earlier under layout, say you don't want a table, you want to convert that to text. We have options here to change how this breaks down. So I'm going to choose other with a dash. And now what you see is all these have dashes in between them and what used to be columns and rows. Then we have the draw option. The draw option is pretty cool because you can just draw all over your page. You can select different colors, different designs. You can highlight things manually, add pins, ink editors. You can even ink to math, which is kind of cool. So we're going to do a little pi sign. with square root over it. And we're going to do not equal to, we'll do a 100 because we know that does not equal 100. So you can insert that, and here it is. You can move it around. There's all that. So that's all under draw. And then you don't like it, you can just erase it. There we go. Design, this is pretty cool because it allows you to apply themes to your pages, different colors and all that. Then you come over here to styles and you change, and as you can tell, everything's changing within my thing here, and it'll probably be better if I show you this way. See how everything is changing. So I kind of like the font of slice here, so it changes everything, all my font going down. Some of these will even change your bullet points and so on and so forth. And you can change your styles, which will also change your font. You can even change your colors. Say you like a certain style but you don't like the colors, you can change your colors as well, and I don't have any colors up here for you to see the difference. You can change your fonts this way, paragraph spacing and effects. You can do watermarks, page colors. You can even do difference with page borders, change them all up. You can even change the color of your pages. Layout's a good one to get familiar with, just like design, because your margins, you can really change those up, do custom, or you can do narrow, normal, anything up here. Orientation changes from portrait to landscape. Your size changes the size of paper you're using. Columns, if you've noticed here, I have 1 and 2 columns. What I did was I highlighted everything and chose to go into 2, whereas this one down here, we have it in just 1, but we can change it into 2, 3. We can justify left and right. If we break it into 3 columns, you see how it does that. We're going to undo that. You can change your indent and spacing. You can rearrange things and align. References, you can add in table of contents. You can insert footnotes, endnotes, and this is a lot of good stuff in here for your citations, whether it's MLA, APA, Chicago, so on and so forth. Insert captions, tables, cross-reference. There's just a lot of good stuff in here for all of your citations. So if you're doing a report, especially in college and high school, definitely get to know your reference tab. Mailings, another good one for labels and envelopes. You can even pull data from Microsoft Excel if you've got a table in there that you need information from. Review is great whether you're at work or in school, because this will allow you to check your spelling and grammar. You've got your thesaurus options, word counts. It can read aloud, check your accessibility, translate into languages. You can add in comments if you're collaborating with people. You can track changes for when you're collaborating. You can show any markups, things of that nature. You can accept and reject any types of changes that were made from colleagues. You can compare your document versus someone else's. You can restrict editing. You can even, if you're using LinkedIn, you can use it as a resume assistant as well. So lots of good stuff in there for collaboration, and that's all under the Review tab. View allows you to view your document in a few different ways: outlines, drafts, web layout, print layout, or read mode. You have learning tools. Your page movement can be changed. You can add a ruler in the top, which I have here. I think this ruler, I'm going to highlight this paragraph here so I can show you. The ruler is something that you should understand here. The left one here, the top will adjust the first line in your paragraph. The bottom one that looks up will adjust all the lines that are not in the first line. So we're going to look at this paragraph here. We're going to choose this bottom one, and you can see how the first line does not indent, but all others indent. And then if you need to move everything, this bottom block here will move all lines. And then you'll see this on the right hand side, this other arrow facing up, that one moves your right indentation for that specified paragraph. That helps with lining your paragraphs. You do have grid lines you can use, navigation pane here on the left for searching and using your headers. You can see all of your pages here. So then you have your zoom. You can zoom in, say we want to zoom in 200%, we can, and then zoom 100% puts us back to normal. So we have zoom, we'll change that to 200, that's great. or we have the zoom 100%. But if you look down in the bottom right corner, we also have this little scrolling thing that allows us to see whatever we see it in whatever works best for us. So we're going to go back to 100% and view one page, multiple pages, change paint or view page width. You can open new windows, arrange, switch windows. You can insert macros and check SharePoint properties as well. So lots of different things to view under the View tab. The Help tab, again, that you can get help, you can contact support, give feedback, any training, and check out what's new in your version. And now we are going to go over what is called the Quick Access Toolbar. Sometimes you'll have an autosave option up here. You can turn it on if you want, change it, show where it should be auto-saving to. This floppy disk icon is the save icon. You have your undo options and your redo options. Your undo option has this arrow down and actually lets you undo a lot of things. So we can go 139 actions back. We also have the touch mouse mode, which is not available on all computers, but since I have a touch screen, I can change it from mouse to touch. If you look, all the icon spacing has gotten bigger, so it makes it easier for your finger to touch it. I'm going to go back to mouse. We've got this customized quick access toolbar. You can add and remove things. Anything with a check here shows that it is there. Anything without the check, you can click on and now it adds it. So we're going to remove that. There's also more options that you can add when you're in here in the quick access toolbar. These are the popular commands, but if you want, you can look for specific things from the Review tab or from the Help tab or Insert tab, whatever you want. You've got a lot of options to narrow it down, or you can view all commands. And these are all the commands that you can add. As you can tell, there's a lot of them. Any one of these that you want, we'll say word count, for example, we just have to click add over here. You'll see it pops up. We click OK, and now boom, we click on it from the quick access toolbar. It tells us everything we need. Say you don't want that, well, that's okay. We just go back to more commands. We go to the right where it's at, we click on remove, and there we go. It's gone from the quick access toolbar. So the Insert tab, I only showed you up to the table here. I didn't show you a whole lot. This tab here I think is one of the most important ones, so I wanted to leave it for the end so that way it kind of sticks a little bit better with you. Not only can we add page breaks and tables, but we can also add images. When you click on pictures, it allows you to pick on one from your computer. You can do online pictures as well, which does a Bing search. You can do the specific categories that we have here. I'm going to click on car. I like this red Lamborghini. So we're going to insert that. Now keep in mind that these photos, some of them are still copyrighted. So whatever you use, make sure you give the author their recognition. This one says unknown author, so it's kind of hard to give that recognition, but just keep that in mind. So now there's a lot that we can do with this image. When we click on it, you'll see drawing tools and picture tools. We can change corrections, colors, add artistic effects, transparency. So you can kind of hide it a little bit. Reset picture will allow it to clean off whatever you have altered it with. We're going to go to picture styles, and I kind of want to add a border. So we've got this double frame border that we're adding. Then picture border, I want to change colors. I want it to be red, kind of like the car is. We can do picture effects as well. We can add some glowing around it. I don't really want to add any, but you can do 3D rotations as well. Add some pop to it. You can add alternative text. And what this is basically just shows tells what the picture is for those that are using some sort of reader. You can change your picture's position. You can wrap the text and align it, rotate, change the size of it, even crop it. That's all done in here in the format under picture tools. What I did here in this one, I had actually gone in and inserted a 3D model, because you can insert shapes, icons, smart art, charts, screenshots, which screenshots will allow you to use other Microsoft stuff so such as Microsoft PowerPoint, and you can insert that, and as you can tell, it just picked the first thing that I had open in PowerPoint. Obviously I don't want that, so we're going to get rid of that. So there's a lot that you can do in this insert, but with this picture, I insert a 3D picture, and you can see this little icon here for layout options. This here, when I click on that, it allows me to change how my text is handled with this picture. So like this here shows my picture over the text, and this one here wraps it through. But what I wanted to do was I wanted to move my text around the photo, and so it cleans the lines up around there and wraps it around my image. Also, a lot more that you can do in the insert tab. When we go over here, we can insert a lot of different add-ins, online videos, bookmarks, links. So I changed this to be a YouTube link. As you can tell, when I hover over it, it takes you to my YouTube page. So you control click to follow the link. The way you do this is, we're going to just pick this first one here, this first word. You highlight the word, you go up to link. It shows what text to display, and then your web address, and then you click OK, and that'll take you directly to the website. The other thing is that you can have it access specific folders as well, or email addresses, or whatever that you need. You can pretty much have this link do just about anything you need to make it easier to access reference points. So keep that in mind as well. You can do bookmarks and cross references, add in comments. You can do headers and footers, which you can see I have a header here. If I double click in there, I can edit it. But the other thing is that when you insert, you can go ahead and click insert header. It'll give you the different options based on your theme that you've chosen. So I chose a theme earlier, and this is one of them that it suggests for this, one of the headers that it suggests for this theme. So you can do that. You can add in footers. You can add in page numbers, which if you look, I have a page number as my footer. So if I go in here, click on that, see it's in there as a footer, but now under header and footer tools, you have a design, and you can work on headers and footers and page numbers all at the same time. Even add in dates and times, document info, pictures, and you've got a whole list of things here that you can do with it. When you're under insert, you can insert text boxes, word art, signature lines, date and times, and another cool thing is equations and symbols. So you can insert symbols like trademark and copyright and pi, and you've got all these different ones. You can also insert equations. I'm going to be honest, I have no clue what this equation is for, but you can insert it and you can edit it under equation tools and design. You have all these different options here. So there's a lot that you can do under insert to make your document pop. So one last thing here. When you highlight a word or an object, you'll see little things that pop up like this layout object or layout options, or this bar here. These are quick edit bars that Microsoft has built in. You can quickly change your formatting of whatever you've highlighted. So this one here still allows you to change your formatting of all your words, bullet points, the size, type of font, any styles you might want to add to it. So this allows you to adjust a lot of your formatting right then and there. So if you're under the reference tab but you need to change this real quick, you can change whatever you need to make that word pop. I know that was a lot to go over. Thank you for sticking with me, and please watch the next video about Microsoft Word Basics. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.